Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind successful startups, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're super excited to have Hiram Baker, the founder and CEO of Baker Industries, joining us. Hiram will be sharing more about his founding story and giving us a glimpse into plans for future growth. So let's jump straight into it. Hiram, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to Founders Future.
Oh yeah, thank you, Olivia. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it and humbled to be invited. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's start things at the beginning of the journey. Can you take me back to before you started Baker Industries and what you was looking to do with doing so?
Oh wow. You want to go back to like when I was a kid or like the start of my professional career? Because
If that started when you was a kid, we need to go back.
all right, let's go there. When I was a kid, I always had this dream and most kids are like fascinated and fixated with cars and things like that. So I've always loved cars and vehicles of all sorts. But I always had this huge dream to own a car company. Not sometimes when you say that as a kid to adults, oh, you want to own a car dealership? Cool. No, I'm like, no, I want to own the company, like Ford, Elon Musk, Tesla, those types of things. So I've always, and it's just been in me. I can't even remember when I started feeling that way. I can't remember. It's just, I've always wanted to own like a car company. So I've always had like huge aspirations to own like this big Fortune 100 company or whatever you will. And one cool, weird fact about me is as a kid, when I would run, I would make car noises. So I like thought I was a car too. So that's just, a little comedy for the audience. And then once I got into corporate America, that passion and that dream was still very much in me. And every company I've ever worked at, I just say, man, when I start my company, I want to do this way and I want to do that this way. And I like what they do and I want to adopt that and put a little extra frosting on it. So that's like where it emanated from. But to answer your question quickly, yeah.
Awesome. And then let's dive into the business today. So to give the listeners more context, what is it you do at Baker Industries and how is it you work with your clients?
Yeah, and it's actually not to be, but yeah,
I
Baker.
said it again. Baker Industries.
I always have a rule. I say, if I like you and you're cool, I'll let you mess up my name a little bit. So you're fine. Yeah. But no, so Baker Industries is essentially, oh man, it's a one-stop shop for any business where it's a one-stop shop. We have a very unique approach and philosophy and approach to how we do business and the way that I combine several different philosophies and created my own is more the confluence of everything that I've been and been through in corporate America and just experienced in life. So it was imagine having a running list of things. Imagine in the past 20 years, you've worked for about 4 different companies. And at each company, you were like, have this little secret notebook, right? Not where you're like, let me clear this up. Not where you're like stealing proprietary information, but like where you're taking notes on the culture, the characteristics of the company, the way they do things, some of their overall systems and processes, right? So I've kind of had this secret notebook where I've just been making notes and taking cues and going, all right, so when I start my company, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. So anyway, about 9, maybe 10 years ago, I turned my whole kitchen wall into a dry mark eraser board. And I started coming up with what was I deemed like a color-coded organizational flow chart of what I deemed would be like the ultimate business, where you combined all different industries, all different styles, and all different methodologies into one umbrella and basically create like this ultimate machine that no matter what the problem or the situation is, we can always have a solution. And oh man, and we said we only got 20 minutes. It's so hard to break all this down in a short amount of time, but I might have to do a part 2. But basically, if I meet with you and say you're a CEO, owner, or founder, I say, Olivia, obviously after we get to know each other and build up a rapport, I go, give me your wish list for your business. And I say, I don't care how crazy it is or how asinine it may sound, but let's get crazy with it. Let's act like you're a kid coming up with a Christmas list for what you want for your business though. And people will name about 10 to 20 things and they go, I want this, I want that, I want to do this, I want to do this with my business. And basically, through strategic positioning and the way that I leverage my network and all the different relationships and the partnerships that I have throughout the globe, we can achieve pretty much anything for a business. So if you need a whole new team of C-level executives, if you need $1 billion for your business or your operation, we can do that. Hell, if you're the CEO and after you achieve some big deals from us helping you and you want to go and buy a mega yacht, we can even facilitate that. So it's really whatever you can think of or fathom or conceptualize, we can help with. And we have a very unique way, approach, and fashion of doing it. It's one of a kind. And we've even played with organizational psychology and the structure of how typical companies are formed and play with that equation a little bit as well. So basically, and that was like the longest short version, right? It's a one-stop shop for any business endeavor, period. When people say, how can you say that? And I go, because I've went and strategically curated all these different partnerships and different networks and become a part of all these things globally where I can facilitate these things or I can make a quick phone call. So but another one credible source who I've been working with has called it and said, man, this is basically the Amazon of businesses. So think of how like when you wake up in the morning and you like, oh, geez, I want to order a new coffee pot. You go on Amazon, right? You order that,
Yeah.
this, that, and the third. But now think of it in a business sense where you go, oh, wow, our stock is down 20%. We might need to do a merger and acquisition and get some new blood in here. You reach out to us and we can help you facilitate all that with direct relationships.
Amazing. So walk me through what your ideal customer would look like off the back of that. Who is it?
It's anyone. If you are, and that's the beauty of it. So it's designed to be formless and fluid. Where no matter where you are, like, and it's not to intimidate anyone. If Elon Musk reaches out to me and says, "Hey, I need help with this problem," I can help him. But excuse me, but if Joe the carpenter he's been a carpenter for 10 years and he just started a carpentry business and he's trying to figure out to go from him being the only one in the business to scaling up to having 100 people to 1,000 people to now Joe's Carpentry is taking over all of the US or the world for that matter. We can help him with that too. And it can be, and it's not a transactional situation. It's a situation where we want to form intrinsic bonds with people and go with
Okay.
you on the whole journey and not just say that because it sounds cool and cliche, but dude, I want to be invited to your kid's birthday party. I want us to have a personable relationship where we trust each other on a deeper level, where it's not just business, where business is the byproduct of us having a relationship, where we actually become friends. And you're like, not only am I doing business with Olivia, or not only am I doing business with Hiram, I like them. Like they're actually cool. You know what? And when I turn 50, I'm inviting Olivia to my 50th birthday party. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah, the personal relationship is more important as a product in the sense is what I'm getting from you,
Certainly,
which is great to
certainly.
see. It's nice to see that. Sometimes that's lost within the ecosystem, sometimes of earning money and generating money online. Sometimes that kind of personal factor isn't always often thought of. So I love that you're trying to highlight that off the back of it as well.
Yeah. And that's one thing too, like sometimes when people come into the organization and we talk and we have a lot of things for sale and a lot of different offerings. And one of the first questions is, what's the script? What's the script? What do I say to a person? What do I say to a CEO, owner, a founder, or whomever we're doing business with? And I go, there is no script, man. And they go, what do you mean there's no script? I go, you just talk to people the way you would normally talk to people. I'm like, because that's the best way to beget business. Now, obviously, you should have an understanding of what we're offering. And when those cues come up in conversation, you can diverse to that, but, or excuse me, divert. But
Yeah.
the conversation should be just as natural as the conversation you and I are having right
Yeah,
now. Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like no script is the best script. And every single company I've worked with, scripts was definitely something that was on my little list of, oh my gosh, not only was it on my list of do away with it, it was like, who the hell wrote this? Clearly the person who wrote this doesn't forget selling to people, doesn't talk to people. You know what I mean? Like, why would you? Yeah. So I've always wanted to rewrite the script. And one of the ways that I've rewritten the script is that we canned it. Forget the script. Let's just
100%.
talk to people.
Amazing. And now let's shift to the back end of the business a little bit. So when
Mhm.
it comes to the marketing and then the sales side of things, how is that running? Do you have a team behind you or are you taking the reins on that one as well?
So it's a confluence of a lot of different things. First and foremost, not pulling away from the personable aspect and the human aspect. The way my network is leveraged and built is upon people. So a lot of it has come from referral business.
Okay.
Then also the caveat within that is that with a lot of some of these partnerships that I have, they come with little perks where it may come with a little AI automation and to help with outreach, where it works in duality, where there's the person aspect where, hey, I just met with a CEO and we formed a friendship, and guess who he knows? 100 other CEOs who then he or she begins to refer me to, and then guess who they know? 100 other CEOs. So it becomes like an algorithm that you play, where I feel like, and this is probably going to be a controversial statement, but I still very much believe that even in the AI generation, if you will, or whatever we're in, where AI is pretty much taken over, I still
Yeah.
very much feel that to form a human bond and a relationship and a connection with a person will supersede that, where that should always be the base and the foundation of everything. And then once you get to a certain point, automation and AI can take over and be like a supplement or complement whatever it else is you're doing. So
Yeah.
it's right now I would say it's about 70% human interaction, just like this, 30% mechanical infusion of things like AI software and automation. Yeah.
Amazing. And are you running any form of ads on top of that as well to help with not just the organic side of things in referral?
Not right now. My biggest ad right now is LinkedIn. And the funny
Okay.
thing is about 10 years ago, or maybe 5 years ago, I hated LinkedIn. I couldn't stand it. I was just like, oh gosh, here we go. Another Facebook, but it's for business owners or whatever. And I was very anti LinkedIn. And I think I just got burnt by social media where I just got tired of participating in it.
Yeah.
And now I've gotten to the point where LinkedIn is probably one of my biggest resources and one of my biggest tools. I connected with you all on LinkedIn, and I've
Yeah,
connected
exactly.
with 5 thousands of connections on there, and they all come and emanate from LinkedIn, which have led to other things. So, right now, shout out to LinkedIn. LinkedIn has been one of my biggest sources and avenues, and I love it. So, yes.
So outreach on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's living up to its name at the moment, isn't it? It's definitely
Oh
really
yeah.
come together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly. Certainly. For me, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. And then I suppose in terms of what the next 12 months look like for you, do you
Um,
have any specific goals, targets you've
yes.
got in place that
Yes.
you're looking
Yes.
to meet?
So I call it a life goal. Like right now, I'm probably at about over between 40 to 50 partnerships, and my death goal actually is to strategically have at least 1,000 partnerships, ranging from various different industries and things like that, and then looking at different ways to capitalize on the partnership. So say for there might be one partnership where then there is one partnership where I have global contract to help facilitate language of a certain sort. And my goal is to always make industry of the partnership, meaning usually in a job, you come along and someone goes, we're selling cars. I need you to come out on the lot and sell 2 cars a week. Whereas I look at it and go, how about I make a deal with you and say, if I sell 1,000 cars a month, we can do this and this. And you go, okay, I'll give you that deal, but how the hell are you going to do it? You're one person. I go, don't worry about what I'm going to do. Just give me the deal. And then what I'll do is orchestrate it and facilitate it and go and hire 100 people, give them favorable options and deals and incentives where they'll be motivated to do it and come up with a cross-functional platform or system to where it can work. And also while you utilizing very unique philosophies to do it. So we're not going to do it the way the other 80 dealerships have done it. We're going to approach it from a very different angle and a very different facet. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm rambling. What was the question?
What do the next 12 months look like? And I think you're just rambling.
12 months, right. Okay.
It's
So,
fine. We're
yeah,
on
so
top.
to expand on a ton of different partnerships, I have a lot of unique things. No partnership is identical. For instance, I have exclusive rights to a $500 million island off the Baja coast. And so, one goal is I want to unload that, I want to get that sold. And I want to say within the next 12 months, have at least at a minimum 1,000 employees. But when I say employees, it's in a different fashion because we've played with the organizational psychology where we reach out. When I speak to CEOs, owners, and founders, I give them not only an opportunity to use my services, but an opportunity to participate where they can actually benefit from all the products and services. So it's like you're a CEO, owner, and founder, and you go, wow, I don't need $1 billion, but I know 10 other people who do. And I go, all right, cool. If you introduce me to them, when I give them $1 billion, I'll split the cuts with you, whatever I make off of that, and we just keep it going or whatever. So what I'm doing is I want to replace the normal employee with just CEOs, owners, and founders. So what you do is you create an elite organization of high functioning professionals. And not only that, and it's not to say that if you're not a CEO, owner, and founder, then we can help you become that. Like, it's basically, we can bring you into the system because we have all the solutions for any business, no matter where you are. So if you have an idea or a concept, we can help you matriculate through the whole concept and process of having an idea for a business, bringing it to fruition, and making everything go and then scale up. And so like I said, it's a one-stop shop. So within the next 12 months, I want to have at least 1,000 employees. I want to sell this island, and I want to just keep pressing forward to having at least 1,000 partnerships by the time I die. And I'm going to be 44 next month.
Amazing. So a lot is going on in the next 12 months, basically, my understanding.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What would you say is the biggest challenge in making that all happen at the moment?
The biggest challenge, sometimes I feel like I'm the biggest challenge because sometimes we are our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
So speaking from an internal standpoint, the biggest external challenge is, and I've given this analogy a lot. I don't know if you read the Bible or anything, but in the Bible, from the time that when Noah built the ark, people were living to about 900 years old, right? Which is unheard of nowadays. But Noah, it took 100 years from the point that Noah got the vision to build the ark from the time that it actually flooded. So what that means in real time is that his kids looked at him like he was a lunatic for 100 years. His wife looked at him like he was a lunatic for 100 years. Everyone in the village around him looked at him like he was a lunatic for 100 years, while he's steadily just building his ark, telling people that a flood is coming in the middle of a drought. It's one thing to say that there's a drought, but there's another thing to say, not only is there a drought, when the rain breaks, it's going to flood. So people are looking at him like, all right, check him into the mental home. What the hell is he talking about? So that is some of the biggest external challenges, is sometimes the scrutiny of family, friends, and loved ones. And it may not be intentional. It's just sometimes when people don't understand and get the vision that you've been given by God and just to do certain things, sometimes until it's actually fully materialized and comes to fruition, people have a hard time fathoming it. So it's kind of like what the Wright brothers went through, right? When in an age where no one was flying, unless you heard about it in Greek mythology, right? And it's saying, we're going to fly cars. Excuse me. That's coming too, right? We're going to fly. We're going to fly. We're going to take flight. We're going to fly like the birds. Yeah. And this is in the time, in the age where that's unheard of. So those are the biggest external challenges, is just staying focused, regardless of what other people think of your vision or your dream, and just kind of continue to push ahead. So those are some of the challenges.
Yeah, I love it. Keep moving forward and ignore the noise.
Yep.
Amazing. And before we leave off, I have one last question for you. To our listeners who are just at the start of their journey, is there any advice that you could leave them with to help them keep pushing forward?
Wow. Great question. I stared at my dry marker eraser board for about 9 years like a lunatic. It was in my kitchen. I ate breakfast under it. I ate lunch under it. I had dinner under it for 9 years, until I decided to just have the balls to just start the company and just go for it, regardless of what happens. Excuse me. So my biggest piece of advice to up and coming people, or people who just have a thought of idea, obviously flesh the idea out a little bit, but don't hesitate on doing it. Do it. Just do it. Do it. Don't wait. Don't wait for the perfect amount of money saved up in your bank account. I know to some people that might be daunting or scary thing to say, especially if we got some CPAs in the audience, right? They're like, what the hell are you talking about? But you have to have this unflinching level of trust and faith in God and the universe, because God created the universe, that things will come to fruition and they will come to pass. So do it. Do it. Just do it. do it. Everything that is around us started from a thought and an idea, to the chair that I'm sitting on, to the computer that we're talking through, to the cars that we drive. It was a thought at some point, and someone had to make that thought into an action and capitalize on the vision and the dream. So if you have a really good idea, or you have something that you feel you're led to do it.
Love it. Amazing. And with that is a wrap on another inspiring episode of Founders Future. I want to thank Hiram so much for sharing his incredible journey and insight with us today. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Please go and check out Barker Industries. Hiram, where can people reach out to work with you and
Oh,
connect?
yeah, no, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. Hiram Baker. I'm in the Chicagoland area. Just reach out. Yeah, reach out.
Amazing. There
And
we
I'll
go.
be glad to have a conversation with you. And I appreciate you so much, Olivia. Yeah.
No, appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we were able to go from 0 to 30 million in less than 3 years. And until then, keep climbing and we will see you on the next one.